The story of a people is told best by those who live it out daily. And when the history of that community is informative, inspirational, and insightful, it should then be shared with the world. The Clio Exchange does that.
I get a call from Tulsa, Oklahoma, from a white dealer. And he says, Currie Ballard, I understand you collect that black stuff. I said, oh, yes.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that black stuff. And that's fine with me.
Yeah, just show me the stuff.
Yeah. He says, I got some films you might be interested in, but I'm not driving to Langston. I said, well, I'm not driving to Tulsa. So let's meet halfway. Mm-hmm. So we met halfway on a Saturday afternoon. And brother, I almost pulled a Fred Sanford, grabbed my heart. He had two large boxes, and they were in the original Eastman Kodak reel cans. Mm-hmm. And then you open that reel can, and there was a rundown sheet of what actually was filmed.
A rundown?
A rundown sheet on each one of those cans. And
this person knew what they were doing.
Well, this is the Reverend S.S. Jones, an African-American who shot. He was a circuit preacher in Oklahoma, but he traversed not only around Oklahoma, all over the country. Made 3 trips overseas. And we're talking not 1960s, not 1950s, not 1940s, 1920s. Mm-mm. Unheard of. Mm-mm. That archive is unheard of. And he says, well, I'm asking quite a bit for this. I said, well, I'm willing to pay quite a bit for it. Mm. I says,
you knew what it was.
Oh, well, I got 25 years in this business. I said, if you give me a couple of days so I can go to my bank and get a loan and give you the cashier's check, if you hold out 48 hours for me, I'll cut the deal with you. Okay. And we shook hands, no contract. We just shook hands on it. 48 hours later, I drove to Tulsa.
You didn't wait this time.
Yeah, well, it was no halfway at that point.
I'm coming for my stuff.
And
how long had he had this?
Phenomenal story. His father was a real estate agent outside of Tulsa. So they had acquired quite a bit of property, homes, rental properties outside of Tulsa. Okay. And he said, well, after his old man passed, his mother left him in charge of the various rental properties. So he went to clean up one of the rental properties. People had moved out, and he went up into the attic. And there was these boxes.
Sitting in there.
He's probably been sitting there for 60 years. So this was about 4 or 5 years ago now. Mm-hmm. You know, for whatever reason, he took them, put them in his home, waited 4 or 5 years before he contacted me. So
But did he have some sense that there was some value in this?
The rundown cans, because keep in mind, none of it had ever been transferred. Right. The rundown can says Negro College, Negro Church, Negro Parade, colored this, colored. Well, it doesn't take Albert Einstein to figure you're dealing with black people, African Americans. Right. And he didn't know anything about Reverend S.S. Jones. And then some stationery was in there that says, Reverend S.S. Jones organized a National Baptist Convention. Now, I was familiar with Reverend S.S. Jones's work because I helped do a documentary about 10 years ago. A lady from Detroit had put together or produced a documentary, came to Oklahoma, excuse me, and asked me to participate because a couple of the towns that Reverend S.S. Jones had filmed were African American.
Like Boley and
Taft, exactly. Okay. So I was familiar with his work. She only had 5 reels. I acquired 29. And when I called her, she said, you got the mother load of his work.
Ballard.